Yes, people, welcome back. It's episode 11, Views from the Skywalk. Today, joined by Darren and Toby. Guys, thanks for coming on. How you guys doing?
We're good, thank you. We're good. Thanks for having me on.
No worries, man. Tobes, how you doing?
I'm good, man. Thank you for having me on, man. It's been refreshing. Probably the best couple of weeks I've had in a long time because we've not had to watch Spurs play, so there's no stress.
That's what I was saying, man. Everyone's been hating this international break, and there I am, just loving it, man.
Yeah, I've loved it, man. It's been brilliant, man. I've not even watched much international football. Like I thought, I've used this opportunity, even though I've spoken about football, I've not watched any. So I've just had some me time again, man, which is good.
Yeah, I've been watching the England games. Been watching some of the under-21s.
You're putting yourself through hell, man. I made sure not to watch full. I've not watched a full England match at all, both under 21 and senior level. I've watched like snippets of the under 21s. I didn't even bother watching England v Albania. Was it Albania?
Albania,
and San Marino. I didn't bother watching any of those games. Highlights thing, man.
Yeah, you ain't missed much, to be honest with you, especially the under 21s.
Oh, those are painful, man. Those are painful to watch. Literally just static football. It's like watching. It was like watching us. It's like watching us, bro. Like, just no plan, just no kind of ways to play. Just two defensive mids and just hope for the best. Like that. That's what it was. But you know what? It's been good, but I think there's not much to talk about in terms of game time, in terms of games. But I think there's a big summer ahead for the football club.
100.
I can't see Jose going like top 4 or no top 4. I can't see him going. So I think this summer it's up to him. Do you know what I think? The good thing about it is I think he's obviously the best person. He's the person that knows who needs to go out and who needs to come in. So we just need to get the ball rolling this summer. And like what happened after Pochettino's first season, we need a mass clear out. I think it was like 9 players Poch got rid of.
After I think it was like 10. I think it was around 9 or 10. Yeah.
Like the season when Soldado and them lot left.
Yeah. And don't forget, he got rid of a few. He got rid of a few in the season beforehand as well. So the likes of Adebayor, he effed off after January. Chirichez and them man in the summer. So he got rid of a couple.
Yeah, we need the same kind of clear out, man. Like I can't see it happening because like I think Jose killed himself by giving players like Eric Dyer a new contract because under Pochettino, Dyer was on his way out. There was no doubt in that. Jose comes in, new contract, put in a good few performances, new contract, and now it's looking like he's got to go again. But
yeah, well, should have gone in the first place. He's staying. Even though we want him to go, he's gonna stay unless a really big offer comes in for him. But I doubt that very much. So we're gonna have to deal with him for at least another season.
That's what I'm thinking. And the thing is, his wages, I think he's on like, is it 100? Is it somewhere around that figure? Maybe high five, I think it's high 5 figures, somewhere around the 100 mark. He's around there. And it's not only about who's going to pay the money; it's about who's going to offer him the same amount of money that we're paying him. I think for me, the players that need to go, I named them here: Sanchez, Dyer, Harry Winks, Musa Sissoko, Ben Davies. Ben Davies is not a must. He's like one that I could maybe see him at the club for another year, but I'll put Ben Davies there anyway, and Dele Alli. And for me, if I had it my way, I would get rid of Bergwijn. I know people are thinking different, but he would be someone I'd look to move on. So those would be my list.
You know what? I agree with you. I would add, and this is controversial, I would have added it about 2 years ago. I had Lloris, Lamela, Lucas to that as well. Although Lucas is having a bit of an Indian summer at the moment, so he's oh boy, I don't know, but yeah, you know, maybe he might be a decent little impact sub. I'm not sure, but definitely Lamella's been there. I'd say at least 3 years too long. I'd say 4 years too long.
Yeah,
Maurice,
he's coming up to what, nine years?
Yeah, he's been there since 2013. So it's pushing 8 years. It's pushing up to 8 years now. Yeah, I know he's had his injuries and we've given him so many chances, but his output just isn't good enough.
Yeah.
For who we've signed, his output isn't good enough. You're talking about what? Has he hit double figures in Premier League goals yet?
No,
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Are you talking about in the season or in all comps?
In the Prem, but in all comps in general, he would have hit double figures surely by now.
Yeah.
In the Prem, I think he'd only got about 6 when I last looked before the Arsenal game.
I'll check now. But I think he's finally hit double figures in all comps in the league. Yeah, he's got 100. He's got 17 goals and 171 appearances in the league.
17 goals. Okay.
And 171 appearances.
That's 1 goal every 10.
Do you know what with Lamela? Yeah, that means we're gonna have to give him a testimonial when he leaves.
God forbid.
We're gonna have to do that thing we did with Yang Vertonghen and give them that little farewell. Listen, like this is the problem with this club. Yeah, historically we hold on to these shit players for far too long, and it kills us. And I understand the good work Daniel Levy's done financially, you know, getting us into the position to get a stadium, and I appreciate that. But the thing I will hold him accountable to is giving players big contracts after a good run of games when they don't deserve it. Yeah, like Lamela, prime example, good run of games, new contract. Yeah, and his like this whole thing he has in he's got this thing where he doesn't like to let players go so easily on the cheap. He likes to overvalue them.
Yeah,
like I was hearing from Paul O'Keefe the other day. There was some rumor about Dele's going to leave for about 25 mil. There's no way Levy's letting him go for anywhere. I think Paul was saying about 40 to 50. Now, who's going to pay that money? So for me, it just feels like we're going to be stuck with Dele for maybe another season. He might get a loan, but that's not what we need. We need to get him out, transferred on a reasonable enough fee, and then reinvest that. Loans for me are not going to. You can loan out someone like someone who has little to no value, like Juan Foyth. Yeah, you can't loan out someone like Dele. We need the money for him.
Cash, yeah. You know what it is with Dele? I think I don't see us getting 40 to 50 million, but I think we can get over 25 million. And I think Daniel Levy would be well within his rights to ask for over 25 million for Ali, because yes, even though he's not the Ali that he was 3 years ago, this is a guy who's capped at senior level. This is a guy who scored at the World Cup. This is a guy who has over 50 Premier League goals. He's averaging like close to 1 and 2 in terms of goals and assists in the league, and he's only 24 years old. So he's played in the Champions League as well. So I think on paper we have everything going for us with regards to getting a reasonable sum for him. Whether we will get it is a different question, but I think Daniel Levy is well within his rights to ask for more than 25 million for him. But I do hear your point at the same time. I don't want it to be a case of like, if a team bids 30 M's, you're asking for 50 million. No. If a team bids 30 million, just take the 30 million.
Take it. Like,
take the 30 million.
Do you not reckon? You lot for real?
Yeah.
I'd say at least 40. I'd say at least 40. He's 24. He's an international.
But he's not England international anymore. He's not
For now. You get so much life out of him, like no less than 40, I would say.
But the thing is, if he doesn't get selected for the Euros, which he most likely won't, that's going to impact his value.
Yeah, that'll bring him down about 3 to 5 million. 5 million.
Ash, we spoke about this on Twitter, and I'm sure I told you as well. I remember you were saying I can't remember what you were saying, but you were like, we should, because I said 35 million, and I'm sticking to it. I think
I was higher. I know what you said. I was higher. I think I said 40 or 50. I think.
Yeah, I remember I said like 35, 40 million. I think that's good money for Ali right now.
Yeah, when I think about it, good money. And this is the thing, he's done nothing for years. Nothing.
That's what I'm saying. So I don't think 30 million is a great price at all. I actually don't. I think 30 million will give the team a bargain when you look at what he's done in his career to date. But I think just because of our need to actually start generating funds for these players, if we get 30 million, I'm not really going to ask Daniel Levy to literally dig his feet in at that. Like, you should really be considering that offer, because right now, what's the rumor? Sabitzer is going to cost what, around, I don't know how much he's cost. He's got 1 year left in his contract. Let's say maybe
Sabitzer will probably be 1 year left. He's 26, going 27 in the summer. Yeah. I reckon Sabitzer, you're looking at around 25 to 30 mil.
Is that pounds or euros?
Pounds.
Yeah. So that's
Leipzig won't let him go for cheap, because he's their captain. He's Leipzig through and through. He's not just like any player to them. He's like their main man. It's like us letting Christian Eriksen go that last year.
Yeah, 100. But the way I'm looking at it is, would Ali's fee be enough to get Sabitzer? And I think if you buy Ali for 35 million, I think you've got enough money to go grab Sabitzer there.
Yeah.
So for me, I know I'm sort of mincing my words here, but 35 million, I'm happy with us getting that for Ali and going. I can understand why why Daniel Levy may want more, but I feel like this summer of all summers, where we're most likely not going to finish in the Champions League. We're going to need money to raise. We don't have rich oligarchs to back us in the window. We need to not be digging our heels in at some good offers that we get. So, yeah.
Sorry to labor the point, right? But he's probably, out of all these players that we've spoken about or we've listed, he's probably the highest value player in terms of age and in terms of what he's done, goals scored, assists, and everything.
Definitely.
And I think we need to be getting top dollar for him. So I'm saying, well, at the end of the day, you need to be squeezing as much as you can out of him, because you're not going to get close to that with the rest of them, you know. Like, you won't get close to that with the rest of them. So you need to be squeezing as much as you can for Dele Alli, at least. The rest of them, yes, you can compromise. I don't mind that. You can compromise. But for Dele Alli, I think you need to be looking at 40 plus. It's just, like I said, it's the form. The form isn't there, and it hasn't been there for a long time. I agree. However, if you look at what he's done and look at how much he's got left, like it's not unreasonable to be demanding 40 million. We were talking about
who's going to pay that in this climate. I can't see that.
I don't think it is unreasonable. I agree with Ash. I think it's more a case of who's gonna stump up the funds in the pandemic.
We might be looking at PSG, because he's gonna want to join up with Poch, right? Because Poch, he loves Poch. He's gonna want to join up with Poch. You can squeeze something out of PSG, surely. But if PSG come in for him, happy days, cool. But 40 million, Darren, I just feel like
the thing is,
we'll be waiting a long time to get that for Dele in this climate. If it was 2 summers ago, then I could hear you. Because his stock's probably not as plummeted as low as it has now, and teams generally have more money to spend. But in a period where the spend is increasing due to the pandemic, the teams that can afford Dele and pay that money for him, they don't need him. And the teams that could do with him, they ain't got the money to pay 40 million. So 35 million, we have to take it.
And you know what the thing is? You don't want to be in a situation, where you're playing hardball over his feet, and come towards the end of the window, he's still at the club. You need to get him out quickly, and you need to replace him quickly, because what we don't want to do is someone like Sabitzer, he's going to have a lot of clubs after him, because he's got 1 year left on his contract. There's going to be multiple clubs with money going after him. So we don't want to be in a position where we're losing out on all our targets because we're not shifting our deadwood. So we got to take a hit. We bought Ali for 5 million. I'm happy to sell him at 25. If 30, if we can't get 30, then 25, and then let him go. But I don't want this club to be in a position where we're scrambling around on deadline day. trying to get some makeshift players in, putting bids in for, I don't know, fucking Ben White at Brighton or someone like that. Like
100%.
we can't. And then do you know what? Someone posted a comment earlier saying, why are we getting Sabitzer? We need a centre back. If we're getting rid of Dele Alli, we need to get someone in his position.
100%.
You start. I get it.
I saw someone say Sabitzer stunk against Liverpool. Thing is with Sabitzer, yeah, he's played a lot of this season at defensive mid. He's played in a midfield 2 and a 4-2-3-1. Yeah, last season he was playing attacking mid. So I wouldn't see him coming in to play a DM in this team. He'd be coming in as an attacking midfielder because I don't think we need an attacking mid. I do think we need it, but I don't think it's a priority position. I do think.
You know what it is with Sabitzer though, he's flexible. Like, and the thing is, we've spoken about our need to have specialists. Like, we're sick and tired of having these master of none type players. Even though some of them are good, we want a specialist. And Sabitzer, the beauty of him is that he's versatile in the sense that he can play attacking mid in a 4-2-3-1 or in a 3-5-2 or in a I don't know, like a lopsided 4-3-3. But personally for me, he can shoot, he can pass, yeah, and he's got the work rate. So he can get goals and he can pass. So like he's already a specialist in two of those positions. So
his work rate is phenomenal.
Yeah, exactly. And he's got the graft as well. And I feel like if you have him and Højbjerg in the team and you have Ndombele in a free role to let him do to cause as much chaos as possible, you're looking at a very balanced midfield there. And then you have Lo Celso who's there who can compete either with Ndombele or compete with Sabitzer. And our midfield is back up and lit again. So
and then you can throw sometimes Lamella in there or Lucas in there whenever need be. But I think a midfield of Højbjerg and Ndombele and Sabitzer, I think that would be a solid midfield.
100%.
What's
Sabitzer like at set pieces?
He's good at set pieces. Sabitzer is a long range specialist. He scored.
You not remember that goal he scored, Darren, in the I think it was the Champions League last year in the group stage.
It was top left, didn't it? I remember that.
Yeah. I saw it. Yeah.
We need a
dead
free
ball
kick
situations. Yeah, we need a dead ball. We need somebody who's good in dead ball situations because we're lacking that.
Yeah, man. Like I hate to say it, but I think our best free kick taker is probably Eric Dyer, bruv.
That's so poor. It's so poor. It's the truth, though.
No, but it's true, though.
It's true.
Let's also hit a free kick on target against Leipzig, didn't he? Last season in the Champions League, right? I saw you did.
Do you know what? When I listen, if Atletico come in and say, here's the money, I'm going to say, Lo Celso, thank you very much for your services. I don't want him to go. But if Atletico come with the money, thank you. Because listen, he just looks like another sick note.
How bad we are.
Yeah. But you know it is though, Ash. We already have a lot to do this summer. And I don't know. We have a lot to do this summer, and he's one of our better players for me, even though he's not performed and he still needs to prove himself properly in this team. He on paper is one of our better players. And I feel like if we accept an offer that comes in for him, we're potentially giving ourselves a lot to do in one window. And me personally, I'm not really sure if I trust this board to get everything done. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. So
I know what you mean.
I would rather worry and try and move off the people that absolutely need to go. And then once we've don't get it twisted, once we've done all our work, and let's say we sign new players, hypothetically, let's say if roses were red and all of this bullshit and we lived in an ideal world, and let's say we got all our business done, sold the right players and brought in a couple new players that we were happy with, and then a bid comes for Lo Celso, a couple deadline day, consider it. But for now, nah.
Like, I think we need to go into this window, and this is one of the reasons why I changed my mind on Jose, and I changed my mind saying that I don't want him out ASAP, because he knows who to get rid of. Another manager's going to come in and Levy might say, try and get a tune out of these lot. He knows who he needs to get rid of now. So we need to go into this window, try and get rid of the players that need to go ASAP and bring in adequate replacements. Like, I see someone here talking about James Ward-Prowse. Listen, if we get rid of Harry Winks, I would love to get James Ward-Prowse, not as a regular starter, but having him in the squad, dead ball specialist. He's a very decent number 8, very decent. Like I would, that would be a player swap I would probably look at. Harry Winks, you're not going to get much for what? We're talking 15,
20 plus.
He don't play games.
I think we can get 20. I think we can get 20 million for Harry Winks. I think we can.
Yeah, young,
but
English.
I agree. Like James Ward-Prowse is what, maybe like a year, 2 years older than Harry Winks, and he definitely offers more in a football match. I feel like he's better defensively than Harry Winks. I feel like he works just as hard, if not harder, than Harry Winks, and I think he's a goal threat. He's a goal threat, and he's a threat from set pieces. A lot of people will talk about his ability to pick a pass and open play and stuff. Fair enough. He's no Javi with his passing, but he does enough. And I feel like if you had him in your squad, that's a good option in rotation. It really is. But whether he
will he accept it?
Whether he would accept that role, and whether Southampton would give us a fee that's suitable to.
Yeah, Southampton are going to want. They're going to. I can imagine it now. They're going to be wanting. You're looking at 40s for him, I reckon.
100%. And with all due respect, I don't think he's worth 40 million.
So. No, I don't think he is either. I don't think he is.
If you say Dele, James Ward-Prowse.
But you know what? Tanya made a comment earlier. Yeah, if Liverpool can get 25, how old is Ryan Brewster? What he must be 20.
He's 20 years old. 20 years old.
So 20. I'm thinking they got 25 million pounds for Ryan Brewster, a guy that has done niche. Fair enough, he's still young, but that kind of gives me hope. I see that's talking about. Listen, I'm all for letting Matt Doherty go, but let's be realistic. It's not happening. I
think it needs to happen though, I think it needs to happen, and I think it's definitely realistic in my opinion. But on the 2 English players we have, I think the beauty of what we have with Winks and Dele is experience. Like they're both 24, 25, and they've both got so much experience at the top flight already as well. And I think that will count for a lot when some of these lesser sides look for these players, because let's be real, like some of these lower sides, even in a pandemic, they would spend a reasonable amount of money on these players. I think we can squeeze 20 million for Harry Winks, and I think we can definitely squeeze 30 or more for Ali. If you do that, that's what 50 million plus in the bank right there that you can use on a centre back and all.
And this is the thing, I've kind of like been very realistic on the figures. If we ship out all these players, we can have a very decent budget to do some kind of a rebuild. Now, I don't actually feel that we need to replace players player for player. I think if we let go of like 6, we can bring in 4. I think we can manage with that. And you know who else I honestly think is going to leave? I personally don't want him to leave, but I think this is going to be Aurier's last season at the club.
I agree. I actually agree.
I can't see him because he's got 1 year left. I don't see him getting a contract extension. I reckon Serge will probably go. Serge, 1 year left. That's what 12 to 15 max. About 10 to 12, I'd say.
And you know what? People will laugh and stuff like that, but I feel like if you buy Aurier for 12, 15 million, that's good value for an experienced right back who's coming off probably his strongest season in the league. And the right back position is one of those positions where I agree with you, where if you sell 2, you don't need to buy 2. You could get 1. I think if you we floated it
as well, innit?
Exactly. We floated it last summer, the possibility of having Tanganga as the right back you have in the games where you want to be defensive, and then you bring in a more attack-minded right back. And I think that needs to be applied this summer. Tanganga, whether he's going to be the first choice, whether he's going to be backup, he needs to be prioritized, and he needs to be getting a lot more game time. So for me, that works well. If you sell these 2 right backs we have now and bring in 1 right back to compete with Tanganga, I think you give him more game time.
But that right back has to be like,
he's got to be quality.
No,
that's what I want quality, because you got to be. If you look at Reguilon on the left side, we're lopsided when it comes to fullbacks, man. Because you got Reguilon who's just like class, and then we've just got trash down the other side, pretty much. in especially in Doherty. So we need somebody who's up there, at least up there with Reguilon. Don't ask me about any names. I don't know. You probably know better than me, but I'm sure we've got plenty of scouts out there looking. So we need to be getting somebody who's up there, and then Tanganga can be back up and he can rotate. He can go between right back and he can go between centre back as if needs be. He's we've got to rate his versatility. So,
and the thing that worries me about Reguilon, man, I'm just really hoping that this guy is not another sick note, because I've heard he's out for the Newcastle game.
Swear.
Yeah,
he's out. He's out.
So Ben Davies is out. Reguilon is out, so that means it's probably going to be Aurier on the left
and Doherty
or Tanganga on the right. So we need.
Is he not going to try Sirkin at all, or is
he might do? He might try Sirkin. I think. Listen,
I don't think that's the player we got.
It's Newcastle.
He played Matt Doherty against flipping Liverpool. There's no chance he's going to play Sirkin against Newcastle, in my opinion. I don't know. I don't think he do it.
I think that I know it's not transfer business, but we do have two players coming in. Yeah, we got Skippy coming back. We got Sessegnon coming back. From what I've heard, Jose's planning how he's going to use Skip next season. Yeah, so I'm praying that this guy is going to be like a new signing. Because
I think he will be. I think he fixes. Go on.
If we bring him in, we get rid of Winks. That's a transfer. We've not spent any money. We've gained a player. We've sold a player. And I mean, if Sessegnon comes back and wants to play, he's playing. I've heard he's been. I haven't watched him all.
He's been playing well at Hoffenheim. He's been doing well at
wing back.
Yeah.
So if he wants to come and play, back up to Reguilon, then I'd shit Ben Davies on. But the problem is, I don't know why, but Jose loves Ben Davies. He's vice captain.
And this is why I want this Jose Mourinho. This is one of the reasons why I want this guy gone in the summer. Like, I know obviously it may not be that realistic that he goes, but I think it should be. I really think it should be. I think he needs to be. We need to be moving him on this summer, however way we can. For players like Ben Davies, you have an over reliance on players that have been here for years and are not good enough. Under your stewardship, under your tenure as manager, Eric Dyer got a new contract courtesy of you and Daniel Levy. So who's to say that this guy's talent ID is so good that he's the one that's going to help rebuild this team to where we feel the team should be?
Yeah,
I don't have faith in him. I don't have anything.
I see the anger because, like, the Eric Dyer situation, like I said, he was on his way out, comes a new contract, and now is stinking out the place. Like, for me, the biggest priority in our team right now is we have scored 100 goals this season, right? So wingers, as much as we want and need a right winger, is not a priority. Our priority is centre backs. Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. I think it is a priority, Ash. I think it is because
right wing.
Yeah, 100%. When you break down those 100 goals, like 30, 40 of them are in the Europa League against teams where you'd struggle to name one player, let alone 11. And when you look at for me, I judge these wingers on what they've done in the league. Bergwijn, 0 goals this season. Lucas Moura, 2, 3 goals this season. Lamela, 1 goal this season. Gareth Bale is probably is our top scorer. 5 goals, our second top scorer from wide positions after Son with 5 goals. But he was a myth for pretty much 60% of the season. So for me, the right wing is definitely a key.
But here's the thing for me. I would get the right wing. Yeah, but like I said, if we sell all these players, let's say Sanchez, realistically, 20, 25, maybe 2022?
20 to 25.
20, we're gonna take an L anyway, so I reckon we can get
take
20.
We got to realize he's been here for 4 years now, yeah? So whatever the club might feel that he's been worth at least 8 more a season, right? Based on what he's actually given us. So I don't think that they would hold out for too much of a high fee for him because he's been here so long. Dyer, we're not selling him. Forget it.
But you know what though? I think it's the other way around. I think Davinson Sanchez will be kept, and Dyer will be sold.
But,
And the thing is, I agree that the club should be looking to sell Davinson Sanchez, but I've always had a soft spot for him. And you're gonna hate me for this, but no, you're gonna hate me for this, but like he still has the attributes to be a decent centre back. He does.
I think it's. You know what? I think that Davinson Sanchez thing has to be over because I was with you, Tobes, up until this season, but he's never kicked on from where he was, and that is the problem. Like he's not kicked on. He's got the things. The potential is there, and I think his ceiling's quite high, but he's not learned anything. He's
got
no brain. Ajax.
He's intelligent.
No brains.
And what worries me is what he lacks is stuff that you should be teaching them on the coach. You should be teaching them on the training pitch. Positioning, like when to go forward, when to drop back. He doesn't know this stuff. And you know what? Yeah, so many times people say he has good games, but I'm thinking to myself, if you actually watch it, he's only had a good game because his pace has bailed him out 2 or 3 times in the game. But he's actually put the team at risk by his lack of concentration, his lack of defensive awareness. Yes, sometimes his pace has bailed him out and it makes him look good. Oh, he's made a brilliant recovery. Shouldn't have had to make the recovery in the first place.
You know what is with him? Like it's unfortunate because I actually agree that we should be looking to move him on. But as I said, if summer comes and they say you can only sell one of these 2 centre backs, I'm selling every day of the week.
Yeah, if you said one of the 2, it'd be Dyer. Dyer's just a donkey. Like
every day of the week. And the thing is, Davinson Sanchez, it's just he's a magnet for chaos, basically. But if you put him next to a calming presence, a leading and authoritative presence, I think that brings the best side of him. But I do agree, though, like some of his good games, like let's say out of maybe 5 good games, only 2 of them are real good games because the other 3, he's done some good things in the games, but he's also done so many bad things in the game as well, which sort of it always tries to like balance itself out. It's never a spotless performance.
He just gives you that that feeling that you're scared. Like in the Villa game, I was scared because from the get-go, he was all over the place. And you could see that they was trying to put balls in. They're trying to get runners over, balls over. And he wasn't dealing with it.
Yeah, he doesn't do the basics. He is what I don't like is he lets the ball when it's a ball over the top, he'll let the ball go over his head all the time. Never attacks it. Lets that ball bounce. It's the basics of defending. Now, you've got to be you've been playing in the Champions League for how many years, and you've come from Ajax, and you're at Spurs, and you still you're not doing the basics right. So for me, if you're still not doing that after like 3-4 years, like it's probably time to move on. And the thing is, I like him, and I had a soft spot for him for a long time. But you know what? We just have to.
I honestly thought he was going to be the next Ledley King. I honestly did.
So did I, bro. So did I.
After that first season that he had, do you remember that season?
I loved him.
I loved him, bro. I thought this is Ledley King 2.0.
Yeah. I thought this is it. But he's not doing the basics right, man. So is he going to learn?
And he's just a joker. Like,
is he going to learn now? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
He's reached his plateau at Spurs.
And the thing is, no one can use the excuse about game time anymore, because this is an excuse I hate. Is he's not getting game time. He's getting game time. He's not doing it.
He's had plenty.
But yeah,
but
anyway, sorry. What are you going to say?
He wasn't getting time. Yeah, no, he wasn't getting game time because every time he was playing, he was a calamity. He was an absolute calamity. And it was the same thing at the start of last season as well. Because last season, he started off so badly and then he recovered. And then I think on the whole last year, he had a decent season. But for every good game he had last year, he had a disaster class. That Aston Villa game, oh my God, the first game of the season, he was an absolute mess. And then it just kept going and going and going to the point where people were accusing Spurs fans of scapegoating Sanchez. No, we're not scapegoating Sanchez. He's playing bad.
And
poor.
this is what I was talking about the right wing, yeah. Because let's say we sell a few players. Let's say either Sanchez or Dyer, Winks, Sissoko. I'm sorry, I want him out more than anyone in this club. Yeah, Dele.
Sissoko.
So we need to talk about Sissoko because Darren knows. We're in a me and Darren we're in a Spurs group chat, and we talk about all these players that we think deserves to stay and stuff. And I've always maintained that Sissoko's carved a decent sort of squad status role, squad player role for himself. But no, I know why you're shaking your head. But in 2021, he has been nothing short of diabolical. And if these are the performances that we're gonna see, I will have no qualms with the club moving him on this summer because he is literally in that team to offer us energy and defensive stability. If you can't offer us that, then there's no use for you on this pitch.
And the problem with him is he's so bad on the ball. Yeah, the only thing he's good at is playing in a double pivot of two DMs. Yeah, filling in, sometimes helping the centre backs. When he's not doing that properly, he is useless. He can't dribble with the ball. He can't play it forward. He can't play key passes. The guy is useless. And I'm sorry, the performances I've seen from this season, I want him out of this club. First player gone. Get out. And I look at what Didier Deschamps is saying about him, and I'm thinking to myself, there's no way as a French international manager you can be watching Spurs play regularly and talking about him like this.
It's crazy.
It's impossible. He has not been watching him this season. You're smoking. And I remember in the documentary, Jao Sacramento, he goes to Jose and says, "We got a problem. Sissoko is a big influence in the dressing room." Like these guys know. They knew before they came that this guy is terrible. Like he offers nothing to this team. And
do you know
that
what I was
performance against who was it again? Zagreb. That was a nail in the coffin for me.
Sure.
That was it.
That one is I'm not even gonna lie. Like that one's a sackable offense because it's followed. Like we've just seen. I think ever since that Brentford semi-final game, right at the start of January, we've just seen gutless after gutless after gutless cameos of performances from Sissoko. That Chelsea game was no one talks about that. Chelsea game was he was absolutely terrible in that Chelsea game. Terrible.
Like, every time I watch him, I just want to dash something at the TV. Like he's the player that does that stuff to me. Like, and the thing is, I never liked him under Pochettino. I never liked him. And do you know what annoys me is like I used to see our fans calling him the GOAT. The guy's a donkey. He's not a GOAT. Like I'm
not even gonna lie. I've been carried away a couple of times with Sissoko because like I hated his guts. I hated his guts. I couldn't believe. I've even got WhatsApp messages, and like back then I was on Facebook. Back then I was using Facebook, and I remember writing Facebook. I said, if we sign this guy, there's gonna be hell to pay because I couldn't believe that we were signing this absolute bum from a relegated side for 30 million.
That was a deadline day scramble.
But however, I always say it to everybody. Right, it was what was it, 6 million per season for 5 years. The problem is now is that it's been about 4 years, so we paid in the 20s for him, and I think that's unforgivable. I thought we were going to move him on after 2 years and be done, but we've actually kept him for so long, so he's not far off that 30 million, which he's never been worth. But he did have a season or two where he was okay. Yeah. And he had good at breaking up the play. He
had, for me, one season where he was bearable to watch, where I wasn't screwing my face.
I'll give him two. I
think last season and the season before, I think you could say he was one of the better players in our team. In fact, the 18-19 season, we don't get to the Champions League final. We don't get to the Champions League final if he's out of our team. And for that reason, I think he had a very good year by his standards in that season.
And you know what? There's another player who had a good season in that that year. You said you want him to go. I got to disagree with that, bro. I cannot see Lucas leave before any of the. I cannot see him go and for Bergwijn still be at this club. I'll lose my shit. Like
Yes,
The thing is, we know that he lacks quality, yeah. But we need, like, especially right now, we need his energy. He might not have great moments in the game, but what he'll do is he might run around like a headless chicken. But what he might do in that is win the ball back, and somebody else will score. Like, let's face it. For me, I don't know about you, Darren, but I don't think he's a priority right now.
Who, Lucas? The thing is, he's not. I can see an impact sub in him, right? And I can see an impact sub. There's about at least 5 of these that I'd see gone before we sell Lucas. Bergwijn is getting up there now because his output this season has been talk about him, diabolical. He's so top heavy as well. Look at him. He's just so.
That's what I was saying. He looks more. He looks more weighty now than he did when he first came.
Yeah, like, he was a bit more streamlined when he came, but now he's just top heavy. He's just, his movement is not great. He's trying. It's like he's trying too hard all the time. And I think, you know what, we can't be over sentimental. We want this club to win things. If you're not cutting it, bounce. It's that simple.
I'm the same.
Not cutting it, get out. Do you understand? At least Lucas is trying.
Here's my biggest problem. Yeah. Lucas has proven his worth before. First, that season, 18-19, I think that was his first full season, I think he was signed in January.
I was a big Lucas fan, man.
I was a big fan. I was a fan of him when he was at PSG. I used to sign him on Football Manager all the time. He was my go-to signing for every club that I was at, yeah? But here's my problem. Lucas has proved his worth to this club. He scored, 15 goals that season? 5 Champions League, 10 Premier League. Bergwijn has given us nothing. And people are like, give him time. He started the first 16 league games. I think people forget that, He started the first 16 league games. He's a passenger to me. Like, he's happy.
Yeah.
Doesn't break the lines when he needs to. Kind of sits a bit defensive, reserved, plays sideways, doesn't take players on. Lucas will get that ball and he will drive. He'll try and make something happen. Right?
Do you know what? Do you know what, right? Bergwijn will only be remembered for his goal against Man City and the blue Dior jacket that he wore in All or Nothing when he came to sign for Spurs. That's pretty much it.
Man said he's going to be known for a jacket.
That's so basically he's just brought drip and that.
Yeah, that's it. Just drip. That is all. That is it. He scored 2 memorable goals, and he's got a great jacket, and he gets decent trims, and that's pretty much it. Like,
I think with Bergwijn though, it's just it's annoying because I can't defend him. Like, if he was sold this summer, nobody can say that the club's acted too hastily or nothing like that. Like, nobody would be shocked at him being sold. But my issue with keeping, I don't know, Lucas and whatnot is this is what these players do. They get a nice run of form. They make you think, they're going to turn the corner, and they just turn to mush. Now, that being said, Lucas Moura is doing it right now. And if he continues to do it between now and the end of the season, I may change my mind. Because I do think he is better than Lamela.
Much better than Lamela.
But ultimately, like you lot said, the game ain't based on sympathy, and we need to stop being sympathetic to these players once they show us a crumb of form. Like, the reason Lucas Moura was absolutely diabolical last year. Diabolical. And he was
always losing the ball.
That is true. That was very true.
Last year, and he was poor. He was outside of the Europa League. And even some matches there, he wasn't that great. He was poor up until the last sort of like month and a half this season as well. So I still think he's in that list of players I would look to move on, but I feel like the door's open for him more so than Lamela. Yeah. And I totally hear you lot with Steven Bergwijn. From time, he can't even outperform Lamela. That's what you're like.
What I can't excuse of him is the chances this guy's had. The Liverpool, the Brighton.
Oh my gosh!
Come on, you got to give me something to work with. You got to give me something to say. You know what? He scored an important goal against Liverpool.
Has he got any assists this season? Because he ain't got no goals.
He's got 6 or 3, but like he's got 6. But the thing is, like, you got to look at assists you got to look at it in the sense that it happens. Like, one of his assists was just like a little 3-yard pass and someone just whipped it in the goal.
Yeah.
That's not really brilliant. The only assist that I can remember, and hats off to him, was the one at Sheffield United away when Ndombele scored that absolute worldie. That's one I can say I can remember that assist and be like, you know what? Yeah, that was a quality assist because that was a very well flighted ball. I can accept that, but
he's had a couple good ones he's had a couple decent ones in the Europa League. But yeah, I don't think his form has been anywhere near good enough this season.
No.
So.
And one of the reasons, obviously, I brought Lucas up is because I don't know if you guys seen that Alistair Gold article, but Lucas is apparently one of the players that the club would be open to offers. Apparently, on that article from Alistair Gold, Tottenham have rejected several high bid offers from him.
Yeah, I saw that.
Honestly, listen. I think him playing well is what we want. We want him playing well because it makes us better and it puts us in a better position for selling him in the summer. Like, I would love for Lamela to turn up right now. I would love for some of these players to turn it up a notch and give us some sort of power when it comes to selling you in the summer. Because, like, I actually think that we shouldn't be fooled by form. I feel like we need to maintain our principles and remember these players for what they do when they're not in this purple patch, what they do on a day-to-day basis. And I love Lucas's personality. I love his energy on the pitch, but he's just not good enough.
Yeah.
He isn't.
And do you know what the difficult thing is of him? Yeah, he's got that personality that I feel everyone in the club should look at and be like, that is what's going to make you get back into this team. All the players that are on the bench that are not performing, you got to look at his attitude, his work rate. When he's on the bench for 16 games, the first 16 league games, he ain't moaning. He comes in and you can see him on the pitch. He's running, he's pressing. He wants this team. I look at everyone else and I just don't see that from them. I honestly question them, like, do you want to win this game? Like, from our other wingers, I don't see that. And I feel that for that reason, his attitude as well in the dressing room, I've heard from sources that he's one of the players that have a better attitude. I feel that for that reason, I'd probably keep him. But like you said, if the right offer comes in, he's got to go. But
I can hear why you say you'd keep him. But me personally, I'm like, he's 28. He's going to be 29. We've seen the best of him. Is he going to get back to that level?
I think the best Lucas will give you is 10 goals a season. The absolute best. Is work rate, but like you said, if we want to get to that next level, we gotta be better.
We gotta be better than Bergwijn for definite. Better than Lamela. Out of all of those three, Lucas is the one I'd probably sell last. Can I just say something, because we haven't got much time left, but we have not discussed Hugo Lloris. I have been Lloris out for at least 2 years. At least 2 years. Bro, listen, again. We're looking at the transfer window now. Yeah, Lloris is what, 15 mil max. Who are you going to get to replace for that money? No, you're not going to get anyone to replace him. I know, bro, but I mean, come on, man. This guy is. I mean, I think once he won that World Cup, it was downhill from there. I mean, he's not had a bad season this year. He's not had a bad season this year. Huh?
He started
long before that. He started long before that. I'm trying to be fair, right? But I've not been a Lloris fan for a while. Yes, we've got the shot stopping, but we've got the individual errors, and it balances it all out. I know Tobes don't agree with me, because I swear we've discussed this before on another podcast.
You know what with me, yeah? I have defended this guy.
I can't deal with that guy, man.
Of the earth in my group chats. And time again, he makes me look like an idiot. So I'm done with him, right? But I'm only done with him if we can get an adequate replacement. Like I said, we're not we're not getting anyone. Listen, Donnarumma, I would love him. He's my number one choice. He ain't coming to
Tottenham. No way.
Biggest Smith.
No way.
He ain't coming to us. So for me, I'd keep Lloris for another season. And then next summer, go all out. Listen, bro, you do not want to be Listen, we do not want another Brad Friedel. We don't want another Paul Robinson. We don't want another Gomez.
I know.
We want another Lloris.
We're gonna see it all over again, man.
I think with Lloris, I feel like the club should be looking for, if there's enough money, the club should be looking for a succession plan. But Lloris is not the priority. I know that he's shagged and stuff, but on the whole, he's not had a bad season. Like, he's had a bad month and a bit, which distorts. No, it's true. He had a bad month and a bit, which distorts the view of his season. But prior to January, there was no issues with Lloris. There was no issues with Lloris.
Since the restart last season, he didn't really put a foot wrong.
Bro, forget about the restart. Even since he came back from injury last year, that game against Man City, game against Norwich, etc., bro, Lloris has, for the most, in the last, I want to say, from 2018 onwards, Lloris has been, for the most part, a really good keeper for Spurs. But where he's made mistakes, he's made them in such weird and stupid moments, and half of those games, it's cost us. So, me personally, if the club can get a succession plan to work with Lloris this summer,
yeah,
I'll do it. If they get a succession plan and it means Lloris moves on this summer, okay, cool. But I am not pushing Lloris out the door this summer.
Because like I said,
the thing is, we are the kings of individual errors. The kings in England, at least in England, right? Probably in Europe, to be honest with you, the kings of individual errors. And Lloris is up there when it comes to individial errors, man. And I hear that, but I get you lot, man. But boy,
who are you good?
I know.
Actually, you were bashing Nick Pope the other day, man. I think
and I'm gonna bring this up. Yeah, I do not want Nick. Listen, if we get rid of Lloris and we have Nick Pope, we are in tatters. We're in tatters. We're finished. We are absolutely finished. The guy, Nick Pope, is a calamity. Yeah. Nah. Like the way we play, yeah, you don't want him. You don't want a goalkeeper. Like, he's a brilliant shot stopper. Don't get me wrong. Hats off to him. Probably one of the best in the league. Yeah, but his ball handling, and it's not his footwork. It's also his distribution ability and his ability to just kick a ball out the pitch. The guy can't do it. And you know them times where someone's pressing us. Yeah, you have to have a very level head as a goalkeeper. He don't have that.
He has his flaws, but I still think he's a good keeper. And I've had arguments in group chats. If the club signed Nick Pope, I'd be happy with that. I'd be happy with Nick Pope.
I'll be shitting myself every game. And I've seen the way that he moves, that when corners come in and how he is with commanding his area. I know Lloris is not great at that either, but I don't think he's the answer. He's also, what, 28, 29, I swear?
So he's 28. He's 28.
So what's he going to give us? About 3-4 years? Like, listen,
I prefer somebody younger, to be honest with you. I prefer somebody younger because I want to see like a long-term keeper.
We're linked with that.
I just don't know who.
We're linked with that league goalkeeper. I've never seen him play.
Which keeper?
Mannion.
I've never seen him play as well.
I've never seen him.
What do you think of Areola?
I'm a big fan, but I looked at his age the other day. I couldn't believe how old he is. The guy's like, I think he's 29. I think he's 28.
Seriously?
Yes, but I was like, no.
That's a football manager icon, you know? No way.
Bro, listen, I was all for Areola. I was Areola in. When I saw his age, I was like, maybe not.
Yeah, he's 28, you know. You're right.
Yeah,
but you know what? I feel like he'd be available for a decent price. You get a good, I don't know, you get a good solid like 3-4 years out of him, and then he bounces, because I like his height. I think he's a decent shot stopper, and he's tall, bro. He's tall. He's like 6 foot. He's like 6'3", 6'4". So I don't know. I like him. I think he's decent.
He's probably the main one that I've seen us been linked with. So I can't really. It's been him and Pope. But listen, Nick Pope, that's 25 to 30 mil. Let's be realistic now, yeah. I can't see us paying that money. We're going to go for the cheaper option. We are cheaper option FC. It's going to happen. Yeah, as much as we hate to admit it.
It's true.
We're cheaper option FC. And then
Mr. Byrat, I'm telling you, Mr. Byrat.
That's it, bro. It's like we go into Aldi and we shop in the We shop in the discount
aisle. Yeah, the discount aisle. Yeah, man.
That's what we do. We don't.
The damaged goods aisle.
We don't shop in the leagues and the teams where we should be. Like, I mean, like going on to our targets now. Obviously, we've been linked with Botman quite heavily from Lee. Do you know what? From my understanding, from the French clubs, due to the TV rights revenue being completely different from what it normally is, a lot of the French clubs are in trouble. So you're going to see a lot of players from Lyon and Lille and clubs like that having to let go of their players.
Oh, yeah.
So that's why we're linked with that Botman guy. I'll be honest. Again, I've not seen him play. I've heard really good things. But
we should be going for Memphis, man. We should be going for the Pirates.
Yeah, I was about to mention that.
There's a lot of good free agents this summer. Memphis is one of them. Another one, Julian Draxler.
Would you take him at Spurs?
Bro, he improves us.
I don't know, man. I don't think he's a crap player, but I feel like for the position he plays, I need more, man. I need more. I've not seen enough from Draxler in the years gone by to convince me that
he's never hit the heights that he should.
But realistically, when he comes to Spurs, what do you see him add to this team that we're lacking in?
He's got. I mean, his best position is an attacking mid. Yeah. Every time I haven't watched him too tough, but every time I have watched him, he's good on the ball, very quick. Like, doesn't hold on to the ball for too long, very quick. He one thing he does do, he scores goals. He chips in. He will get you 10. He'll get you about 10 to 12 goals a season.
I don't rate him in front of goal though. I actually don't. I think he's good technically, but I think he's slow. I don't think he's a really good final third pass, a final ball type midfielder as well. I just think he's a tidy midfielder, but I reckon he'd be a bit of a sort of passenger. And I feel like right now we need, I feel like for the position he plays in, we can't have another sort of passenger / rotation type player. We need a firm.
Yeah, exactly. I'm with Tobes on that one, because at the end of the day, with Tottenham, you're gonna have to put some work in, and you need to have a bit of about you. Do you know what I mean? And he hasn't really, he's not really got that. He's gonna just be, I can't see it. A few years ago, yes, but not now.
And then just quickly, the other two centre backs we're linked with, Anderson from Fulham. I rate him highly, and Vestergaard.
I don't want Vestergaard.
Slow. Vestergaard is slow.
I'll take Anderson. I don't want Vestergaard at all. No, thank you.
I'll take Anderson. But the thing is, like, who are we realistically going to get? Yeah, that is going to get. Who are we realistically going to get that is going to solidify this defense?
I guarantee we're going to get Vestergaard.
No thanks. I don't
with
want
our recruitment, and the price will probably be there as Spurs next season.
That's true.
Oh man, that's the thing.
The way I see it. Here's the way I see it. Yeah, get rid of Sanchez or Dyer, Winks, Sissoko, Dele. Those are the main positions. Yeah, bring in for me, 1 or 2 centre backs, depending on who goes. Yeah, 1 attacking midfielder / CM to replace Dele. Yeah, and possibly a right winger. So 3 to 4 transfers, I think, would make us put us in a much better position to challenge for the Champions League.
It's a lot of work that we need to do this summer. It's just we need the club to have the appetite to do it. So yeah.
We need to get them to start letting go of the fringes now and then build.
Yeah. We need to do it quickly. That's the thing. We need to do it quickly. We're not quick enough.
We need to get them out quickly, so we're not scrambling on deadline day for Sissoko 2.0 because we're going to be in the same.
What realistically can you see though? You can see in our history is that that's exactly what we do.
This is what I'm saying.
Disappointing transfer windows all the time.
Here's what I'm going to say to Spurs fans: prepare for a difficult transfer window where we're struggling to get rid of our players. Maybe sell 1, 2 here and there. Juan Foyth will be the first out the door. Forgot that one. He'll be 10, 15 mil in the bank. But then from then on, I think it's going to be a struggle because I think we're going to struggle to sell the players at the values that Levy's going to put on them. And then if we struggle to sell, we're going to struggle to buy because from what I've heard, it's a 1 in, 1 out this summer. Players have to go for us to to make any moves.
It's generally like that with Levy anyway. It's generally been like that with him historically. Maybe apart from last summer. But
the squad's bloated though. I think even with the loan options, even with the loan options, yeah, I think we should still be able to. We should still look to move on like 6 to 8 players this summer. Like, irrespective of what happens with the loan, I think minimum 6 to 8 players have to be moved on this summer. Minimum.
Easy.
Yeah. And just a quick one to touch on before we go. Harry Kane. I don't know, man. It's gonna be him to decide. But like I said, no one is paying that money for him, so I think he's staying.
He could stay, but I think
he goes.
I think there are like probably 2 or 3 teams that could pay the money for him. I'm gonna say it's 50-50. Like, I wouldn't be shocked at him leaving, but I wouldn't be shocked at him staying as well. I think it's 50-50.
Yeah. And if I want one replacement for him, it's Lautaro Martinez. That's my number 1 replacement. Number 2.
I don't know about Lautaro, man. I feel like I need a pure backman, man.
Or a Lukaku.
We ain't getting no Lukaku. No way.
I would love Lukaku.
It'd be great, but we ain't getting him. No way.
Yeah.
No way on the planet are we getting him.
I mean,
Lautaro, is he an out-and-out striker? I see him number 10-ish.
Out-and-out striker.
Out-and-out striker, really?
Yeah. He's got a lot of potential. He's young. He's 23.
I like Lautaro, but I just feel like with Lautaro, I feel like he's waiting to explode on the goals front. Like, he scores a reasonable amount of goals, but
because he plays in a 2 in it with Lukaku, so it's but I think you put him in a 3.
But I just think when I watch Inter play, Lukaku's the key attacker in that team. Like, Lautaro's got the technical quality and work rate, but I just feel like I want someone who's close. You don't have to be in that 2 and 3 range, but I want you closer to that range. And I feel like Lautaro is very like 1 and 2 right now. So I want.
You're not going to get anybody as prolific as Kane.
Yeah, I'm not asking for that.
Kane's out of this world, right? But
we can't.
So what about, are we keeping Vinicius then, or
no.
If we can keep,
I like him. I like him though.
If we can keep him for the 20 mil mark, I would say yes.
Yeah.
But if it's for that 45, forget about it. See you later.
Exactly. He's not worth the money.
He's not worth 45. But I think you're harsh on him anyway, Tobes, in the group chat. But I don't
think I am harsh. I don't think he's a bad player. I just don't think he's worth 40 million.
I get you, but I'd like him to stay. I'd like him to stay.
I'd like him to stay.
Yeah. Darren, the condition of him staying is us paying 40 million. If he cost literally 15 to 20 million, I'd keep him all day long. But he's gonna cost us 40 million, and that to me is not a 40 million pound player. He's 26 years old. He's not a 40 million pound player, and we don't have 40 million to spend anyway. And if we did, I'm definitely not spending it on Vinicius. That's why I think he has to bust out.
Yeah,
I hear you. I hear you.
We'll wrap it up there. But yeah, guys, thanks for coming in, man. Appreciate
Thanks
that.
for having me. Thank you very much.
Right.
Always a pleasure.
No worries, man. Guys, thanks for tuning in. All you guys tuning in with the comments. We'll be back Monday. So if you guys, if you haven't already, hit the like, comment, subscribe to Never a Foul. We'll bring you loads more content during the Euros this summer. And then, we'll be back Monday following Newcastle. So let's hope for a win. But guys, take care, man. We'll see you then.
Bless.
See ya.
See ya, man.